And behind the back, Jackson in deep. Jackson whips a pass. Oh, what a beauty under. Here's Burrell driving. Burrell he's here against this Indiana squad. The decent suffering. Angela Gloss, Catherine Chang are officials tonight. Here's Rakia Jackson coming off that 27-piece. Here's Boston operating top of the key. They like to operate her as a hub. Run the offense through here. The aforementioned Cunningham at Crypto.com arena. Sparks coming off that double overtime win in Seattle. First double overtime game. Going to go against her. Stephanie White back for her.
Boston and Hamby.
Here's Mitchell curling, steps into a two in pop. Here's Hamby with it at the top of the key. A little confusion offensively. Fortuitous to Plum. Look what
she's been red hot. All the threes were flowing.
And quickly back the other way. Sparks up 8-7, 8:28 left here in this first quarter. Just getting going here between two of the hottest teams in the W. Stevens a triple, and that's good.
Azare has played very well in the 2 wins over Indiana on the road.
That's a long to get it. Rebound taken by Natasha Howard. Howard back with the fever. Here's the trailer. Hamby the layup good. In the backcourt there. Here's the lob underneath. Stevens the catch and Plum.
Thinking the three was going up.
That one goes up, rattles out, but there it. Howard, nearly a double dribble there. Deep position from Boston, uses the left.
Our point guard for the 8th straight game as she remains day to day dealing with that aggravated groin injury. Now the team remains adamant about not putting a timetable on her return. Head coach
for the Fever as Howard is at the line. She was fouled before we went to break. Free throw is good there by Howard.
And Rashawn, every great Clark does come back. What she has absorbed and how she incorporates that into her game, it's going to be fun to watch.
Here, White Saints lay out of training camp with the Sparks. Mitchell, corner three.
Perfect from distance.
A good sign for Indiana to see her get going.
They doubled her, and she still got.
And then Plum in transition.
Not doing all she can, but to no matter. How about that pass?
Idea. Mitchell splitting the D in deep, and she gets the whistle and took a shot there. Mitchell slow to get
assists a game.
Finally getting her flowers and an all-star for the 3rd straight season. She gets to the line, knocks down the first one. Mitchell, 76% foul shooter on the C. Jordans to play in during tournaments.
Shots by Boston in that first quarter. That would have been 4 points.
Stevens over to Alamon. Alamon turning the corner. How many times have we seen this?
And sitting next to her, recently signed, Alyssa Peely.
7.5 left before intermission. Nice pocket pass. Hamby there on the left. Foul. Count it.
Boy, does this crowd at Crypto respond to the play, the energetic play of Ray Burrell.
Former high jumper and Plum taking the handoff. The step back, weaves it underneath. Hamby, man, got away with a big time screen set by Cunningham. Nice give and go, dots underneath. Here's the football pass to Hamby, end of the pack. De'Erica Hamby.
Steph White wants a time.
Sparks were running, they didn't hear the whistle. And all of a sudden, play came to a halt. Stephanie White of this Fever bunch. Here's Hamby, right down Broadway again. Howard working against Stevens. Howard maneuvering. Nice.
Deter you from doing what you want to do.
Van Loo has some space for three, and that's good. Jackson back in there. Bounce pass underneath. Hamby right aboard, taken by on the floor for LA. Here's Plum on the attack. Plum in deep. Plum beautifully. Mitchell with 3 assists. All of them have been box office worthy. Plum.
From the very first whistle, the energy inside the arena was electric. The Indiana Fever and Los Angeles Sparks stepped onto the court knowing this game could be a turning point in their 2025 season. Fans barely had time to settle into their seats before the first highlight-worthy moment erupted. A fierce drive to the basket, a crowd-roaring block, and a three-pointer that seemed to set the tone for the battle ahead. With both teams coming in hungry for a statement win, it was clear this matchup would be nothing short of a high-stakes showdown. Coming into this clash, the Indiana Fever had been riding a wave of confidence after securing back-to-back wins, while the Los Angeles Sparks were determined to bounce back from a tough loss in their previous outing. The history between these two franchises has always carried an extra layer of intensity, with each meeting delivering its share of drama and unforgettable moments. In the current standings, every game matters, and this one had the potential to shift momentum for either side. With both rosters stacked with star talent and rising young players eager to prove themselves, the stage was perfectly set for a fierce battle from start to finish. The game tipped off with the Sparks winning possession, immediately pushing the pace and striking first with a smooth mid-range jumper. Indiana responded in style, finding their rhythm through quick ball movement that opened up clean looks from the perimeter. The Sparks tried to control the tempo with aggressive drives into lane, but the Fever's defense stayed locked in, forcing tough shots and capitalizing on turnovers. Midway through the quarter, Indiana's sharpshooter nailed back-to-back three-pointers, swinging the momentum and igniting the crowd. The final minutes of the first were a back-and-forth exchange of baskets, with neither team willing to give an inch, setting the tone for a fierce and competitive contest. The second quarter opened with the Sparks turning up their offensive aggression, pushing the ball inside and drawing early fouls to get to the free throw line. Their bench stepped in with energy, knocking down key shots to cut into Indiana's slim lead. But the Fever answered with precision, a perfectly executed pick and roll leading to an easy layup, followed by a fast break finish that brought the home crowd to its feet. Both teams traded scoring runs, with the Sparks defense forcing a couple of shot clock violations, while Indiana stayed hot from beyond the arc. As the quarter wound down, the pace only intensified, each possession feeling like it could tip the balance. By halftime, the scoreboard reflected just how close this battle had become, with neither side holding a comfortable advantage. At the break, the game was finally balanced, with the Fever holding a narrow lead but the Sparks showing no signs of backing down. The first half had been a showcase of contrasting styles, Indiana's sharp perimeter shooting versus Los Angeles' relentless inside game. The Fever's ball movement created open looks that kept their offense flowing, while the Sparks' physical defense disrupted rhythm and forced key turnovers. Standout performances on both sides had already emerged, with one player from each team leading the charge in scoring and energy. As the teams headed to the locker rooms, the question loomed: would the Fever's outside touch continue to shine, or would the Sparks' inside dominance wear them down in the second half? The third quarter began with the Sparks coming out determined to flip the script, attacking the paint with authority and finding early success on back-to-back possessions. Indiana answered with composure, spacing the floor and creating high-percentage shots to maintain their edge. The intensity ramped up on defense, with both teams diving for loose balls and contesting every look at the rim. Midway through the quarter, a huge three-pointer from the Fever silenced a growing Sparks run, but Los Angeles responded with a steal and a fast break finish that reignited their momentum. The final minutes of the third were a tug-of-war, the lead changing hands multiple times, the crowd roaring with every swing, setting up a thrilling finish for the final quarter. With the game hanging in the balance, the fourth quarter erupted into a showcase of pure determination from both sides. The Sparks struck first, taking a slim lead on a powerful drive to the rim, but the Fever immediately responded with a clutch three-pointer that brought the crowd alive. Every possession carried enormous weight. Defensive stops were celebrated like game winners, and every basket felt like a turning point. The tension inside the arena grew with each minute as the lead shifted back and forth. Star players stepped up under pressure, hitting contested shots and making fearless drives. With under 2 minutes remaining, the scoreboard showed a deadlock, and it was clear this battle would be decided by the smallest of margins. The closing seconds were nothing short of breathtaking. With the game tied, the Fever had possession and worked the clock down to set up the final shot. The ball found its way into the hands of their hottest shooter of the night, who drove past a defender, pulled up just inside the arc, and released a perfectly balanced jumper. The arena held its breath as the ball sailed through the air and dropped cleanly through the net with only 1.2 seconds left on the clock. The Sparks quickly called a timeout, drawing up a final play, but Indiana's defense held firm, contesting the last desperate attempt and sealing the victory. As the buzzer sounded, the Fever's bench erupted, the crowd roared, and players embraced in celebration of a hard-fought and dramatic win. When the dust settled, the final score read Indiana Fever 84, Los Angeles Sparks 82, a result that perfectly reflected the intensity of the contest. Indiana's victory was fueled by their exceptional three-point shooting, hitting 11 of 24 attempts, while the Sparks dominated the paint with 42 points inside. The Fever's leading scorer finished with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, while the Sparks' top performer tallied 20 points and 8 rebounds. Both teams shot over 45% from the field, but Indiana's clutch execution in the final minutes made the difference. It was a game that showcased skill, grit, and the unshakable will to win on both sides. What a battle it was, a game filled with drama, momentum swings, and unforgettable moments that will be talked about all season long. The Indiana Fever showed incredible poise under pressure, while the Los Angeles Sparks proved they are a force to be reckoned with in every matchup. Performances like these are what make the WNBA so electrifying, blending skill, passion, and heart in every possession. As both teams look ahead to their next challenges, fans can be certain that this clash will go down as one of the most thrilling games of the year. If you enjoyed this full game highlight, make sure to hit that like button, share the video with fellow basketball fans, and subscribe for more WNBA action, because the season is only getting better from here.